Ladies and gentlemen, it's Friday afternoon after work, so the weekend is here. This is just a little video because the weather's really crappy outside. It's been raining all day, it's quite windy out there, so because of the wind and the rain I don't have a cover for my iPad. It's just going to be inside today. So it's going to be a little bit of a treat for people who like Bowie knives, particularly cold steel Bowie knives. It's just a little overview, like all of my things. I'm not doing reviews really as such. I'm just doing overviews. So, because I've got a lot to get through, and I've got a whole heap of gear of all different types of things, from arrows, knives, hunting gear, bullets, experience, and just heaps of stuff. So I've got a lot to show yous and bring yous, and thoughts to go with it. So I thought, while I'm still cutting my teeth and still learning, I'll just do overviews to give you a general idea. Always ask me questions in the comment section. I try to answer everybody's questions, and I'd love to help. That's what I'm here for. So I'll help any way I possibly can. So you can look at all of my stuff that I've got. I can give you my opinions, and we can come back if there's enough people or someone really wants to know something. We can come back and we can have like a nice and up close and personal review or something like that, you know. So today I've got the cold steel Trailmasters. Well, I've got two of them anyway. I've got one in San Mai and one in 01. So that was the main topic for today. But I thought, well, while I'm here and it's only like a light little overview, I may as well show a couple of the other ones while we're here. I also have some crud, which is the M-Tech. This is the M-Tech. It's basically the Trailmaster copy, made in China. It's the MT151. The only reason I'm mentioning the model number and sort of giving this a little bit of time is because I bought it for a purpose, and the purpose was to give me a similar real life weight, cheap thing to train with. So I can dull the edge on it, I can sort of play around, and I can do some sparring and, you know, things like that with it. I also have a cold steel trainer. I don't know how to pronounce this, Lardo or whatever. I know I'm pronouncing it wrong. But this is the trainer I got. A mate of mine's got the same one, so we can, you know, spar and train and, you know, just get familiar with big sort of Bowies in our hands and sort of what works and what doesn't work. And we've done a bit of sparring, and I've used the short knife, the short little trainer, and my mate used this one, and it's definitely hard to fight someone with a big knife when you're trying to achieve the same thing. We're not trying to stab each other, we're going for hand cuts and lop off fingers, etc, etc. So at the end of the day, the guy with the bigger knife always has the advantage. He's got a lot more reach, and he's got weight coming down, and the Bowie with the good old clip point, it proves it's devastating. So that's why we've got these to go with these, but I also got this to give me some real world sort of practice. Of course I intended on dulling this blade, but of course I had to put an edge on it, so we'll approach this at a later date. So put the china away, touched on the trainer. So now we'll pull out I suppose we'll go the 01 first. The 01 comes with the Secure X sheath, which there's lots of people who got lots of opinions. I actually like these. People say, oh, they dull the edge, etc, etc. Well, that's what learning sharpening knives is all about. So they're really good because you can position them in lots of different heights. You can put it on angles. You can reverse them. They're generally not too bad at all, considering that's what sort of comes with a lot of cold steel knives. It's not too bad, you know. You can always go and spend, if you want really custom high-end stuff, sure, go and get, you know, whatever you want. The sky's the limit, or your wallet. How fat your wallet is the limit. So this is 01 high carbon steel. I believe it's pretty much the same as all the other Trailmasters. I'm sure they're made on to the same specs. Yeah, they pretty much look everything checks out, I'd say. So the 01, that's made in Taiwan. It's got a brass hilt or pommel or whatever you call that, finger guard, where the Sanmai is made in Japan. This was about $250 to $280 odd Australian from the same shop that we get all of our cold steel stuff from over at Margate. And this one here is $500. I just checked the price. They actually don't even have the 01 listed anymore, or the A2. They only have the Sanmai listed. I actually ordered and paid for the A2. Took forever, and after about 10 or so months, the guys at the shop just offered me a $50 discount if I would pay the extra money but get the Sanmai. So in the end, I ended up paying $450 for this. Got a $50 discount, which I thought was quite good. So yeah, both brilliant knives. You're not going to hurt this one. They're going to do exactly the same job, and yeah, they're dead set pretty cool. At the time before I bought this one, I was nearly going to try and buy one of these from America. As soon when I found out that I paid for it and ordered it, and it took months and months, then I found out Cold Steel had sold out. I was in a bit of a pickle because I actually had about probably $800, $900 worth of gear on order that wasn't in the country. So that's why I sort of jumped on this. Actually, all of my Cold Steel knives and products, everything that I got is pre the sale. So it was all the original Cold Steel production. I actually found out yesterday that 2 of my buckler shields, if you know what they are, they're the little polypropylene little 1 foot shields. They're finally arriving next month. They've been on order for well over a year. I got those after seeing the destruction tests on YouTube, seeing how they stop everything. I think, was it from guns? I think it even stops up to 12 gauge, like 22, 9mm, all of your pistol and small bore stuff, up to I think it was 223 and AK-47 7.62 by 39. They were the first rounds that penetrated it. I think they hit it with a 12 gauge solid slug as well, but it's already been hit by 5.56 and 7.62 by 39, so it was quite compromising, being hit by 9mm and buckshot and who knows what else. It stopped 12 gauge buckshot, so I thought for $60 Australian, that's a pretty good little thing that you can have beside your bed, on your backpack, EDC and around the place, and that should keep you out of trouble. Over here anyway, where people are just, the gun availability isn't here, you know. So I thought that's a great little option. Anyway, back to the Bowies. So 01, brilliant knife. Don't feel inferior if that's all you can afford, or you've already got one. I wouldn't rush out and buy another one unless you got the money to burn. So if you own one of these, congratulations, you've got an awesome knife. And if you got one of these, you can just think you're living a little bit higher up on the hill. I sort of prefer the Securex sheath myself, and I think it's a little bit silly having the little strap or retainer on here on the typical. It's a typical complaint on lots of sheaths, having this on the blade side, you know. Anyway, it is what it is. That can be rectified at another time. Next one is the Marauder. It's got the sub-hilt handle. It's a nice. What's this one? This one is 12.4 ounces overall. You can definitely feel the weight reduction, and you can actually feel it, the tip speed a little bit better. It's a 9-inch blade compared to the 9.5-inch blade on the Trailmaster, 9-inch blade on this one. This has got a 4.7mm spine, where the Trailmasters have a 5/16 for the Americans, or a 7.5mm for us Aussies, Europeans and people in Britain. So it's pretty impressive. But there again, even 4.7, it's not the greatest thing in the world if that's what you really, if that's what floats your boat, a thick spine. But I'm sure that will do the most tasks at hand, you know. I've seen a lot of reviews on this. A lot of people really like it. The hilt and the guards here, they're just rubber or whatever, Cray-X or whatever they call that stuff. Sure, if someone's chopping down with a big Bowie, really sharp one, and they hit this, yeah, it might go through it. But for general purposes, stopping your hand from running up the blade, I think that's going to do the job okay. And this is it Oz 8A? Yes, Oz 8A steel. These ones are roughly about $150 Australian, 147 or something similar to that. They also have a serrated one, and I believe that's on sale, or has been the same price, 127 Australian for quite a while. Obviously, you know, sooks carry on about boo-hooing about serrated blades, but I think that they're great. And if it's got one purpose, and that's to cut flesh and clothing, etc., heavy hides, I think that'll get the job done. And if that's what you got it for, don't thrash it and chop into branches and all that sort of shit. Of course it's going to be harder to sharpen a serrated blade over a conventional sort of edge. So if you're buying it for a specific purpose, keep the damn edge for the job at hand. Simple. So now this is the 1917 Frontier Bowie, leather sheath with a frog attached to it. And it's got like the little steel ball and steel tip on the end there, so your tip won't go through. This is definitely a bit of a beast. This one here is made of 1085 high carbon steel. It's 23.8 ounces, 12.25 inch blade, and it is 1/4 inch thick. So that's about 6.2 millimeters for us guys. So it's got the classic S-guard, which I like. Feels good, although it looks very slabby in the handle. It's not too bad. You get that in the right spot. I don't have the biggest hands in the world, but I can sort of get that. And from lots of people that I've been talking to, and I know Donnie B likes this, and is it Red Wolf and Swords or something like that? I know he really loves this one. I've seen quite a few reviews on it, and everyone seems to like it quite well. Mine hasn't done any work. I'm bashed into this. For a cold steel edge, I don't reckon this is as sharp as they sort of usually come. Cut paper. Not really. This isn't the best paper. This is an envelope. It's got like a waxy plastic coating, so it's probably not a good piece of paper to go by, but it's got a blued finish on it, or something that looks like a blued finish. It's got screws in the handles, wooden grips. It's pretty cool. I like it, and my mate and I, we were both lucky. We were able to get this on special. It cost us, I think we paid $165 Australian for it, which is really cheap. I seen it there yesterday at the shop for, I believe it was $199, but it's listed on their website at $119 or $120 something. So it's roughly about, that's wrong, sorry, that's $219 or $220. That's what it's sort of advertised at and generally sits at all the time. But I was in the shop yesterday and it was $199. So it may pay, if you're interested in one of these, to call the shop and ask them if the price is right that's on their website. Chances are, if you speak to a salesperson on the floor, ask for someone in the about the cold steel knives, and they will have the knife there with the price, the right price on it. So yeah. Anyway, my two folders that I got, AD10 and the code 4. These were my first two expensive knives that cost over $100 Australian. Expensive, $100, that's not really expensive, but it was for me. I was the budget knife guy. I wouldn't really spend more than $50 on a knife ever. It took me, I never owned a Victorinox knife because I could never see the money in buying a pocket knife for $60 to $80 until I actually owned one, and then realised the quality in them. So this was my first journey into plus $100. So this one was the code 4. I believe it's around $140 something was then. Now I'm pretty sure it's up around 170, 180 Australian dollars. And the AD10 seems to be holding out steady at about $240, $250 thereabouts. This is an awesome knife. If I'm going out to dinner somewhere with some friends or whatever, there's someone that I just want to show some knives off to or whatever, this is the one that I take because it feels just so good in the hand. Even with the belt clip or pocket clip in place, that sits in your hand awesome. It's a little bit big and heavy to carry around as an EDC knife, but it's a brutally strong beast of a thing. I'm not sure of the blade thickness, but it definitely feels nice. And even people who are, I've had a couple of mates that are full-on knife snobs, and I showed them this, and I could see them sort of nodding that, yeah, feels good. 4-inch blade. It's definitely quite a stout blade. The it's right on 4mm thick, so that's not the thickest in the world, but it's still pretty thick for a pocket knife. It's thicker than the code 4. So I got that because of its strong, sturdy construction. Not sure what you call that texture on the handle, but it's a really, really nice sort of feeling handle. Very grippy, but not too grippy as well. The code 4, nice and light, very lightweight, sort of for a decently big, strong, sturdy sort of pocket knife. And because the way that I EDC, and probably quite a few people might EDC over here, we usually go inside the belt because we can't advertise what we're doing, what we're carrying, etc., etc. So I specifically got this because it's slim profile and it's also light, so most of us over here don't wear jeans or cargo pants with belts and things like that. Like most of us, it's too hot living where we live, so most of us just wear normal shorts, so we don't have belts, etc, etc. So this just rides on my elastic shorts usually, and it's an inside the waistband carry, so because it's nice and smooth, rubs up and down against my skin all the time, this was really good. And then after getting this, after getting quite a few of my knives, I ended up finding that, and it's probably the same as you guys over there, EDC and all your cool stuff, if it's smaller and lighter and easier to carry, there's more of a chance that you're actually going to carry it. It's better to have something than nothing. So I kind of have retired my bigger knives, even sort of, this was the first cold steel I ever bought. It's the Pro Light. It's still fairly small compared to the Code 4 and a fair bit lighter, but then I just went to smaller things again, so, and lighter. Righto. For the fire guys, I got 2 of my flexible magnifying lenses turned up today, so I'm not going to be starting a fire with that with today's weather. It's rainy and cloudy and windy and stuff, so hopefully if it clears up over the weekend I might be able to light up some charred cloth and charred punk wood, etc, etc with this. So anyway, good on you guys. I'm just going to keep bringing more little overviews and we'll just go from there. Any questions, please ask me, more than happy to help. And if you want to have a closer look at something, easily done. Okay, thanks a lot. See you later.